we'll start today, Mike, with the Russell Westbrook trade. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I think the Lakers have done the best they can with what they have. Getting rid of Kuzma is probably a good thing. Trez wasn't used that much in the final or in the regular season in crunch time and stuff like that. So um, I think they got a pretty good piece. I'm worried about the fit there though. Like Russell Westbrook, we obviously know Westbrook. Everyone's seen his stats in the playoffs and whatever it counts is like shooting 5 for 20. Um, and I don't know, like they have Drummond in the paint there, and obviously LeBron as well. He's gotten a lot better at shooting, but he's no Steph Curry or anything like that. So I'm a bit worried about the fit in terms of where is the shooting going to be with that starting lineup of Russ, Wes Matthews, LeBron, Davis, and Drummond. Like Davis can shoot again, but he's no specialist. Can't just
Yeah,
have him on the 3-point line the whole game. So if Davis wants to post up, Drummond can only really play in the posts, and then you have Westbrook who drives every other possession. Don't know how like they're gonna spread the floor there. So that's probably
yeah,
my first reaction there.
yeah. It definitely makes for an interesting dynamic for the team. The kind of the Lakers. In my opinion, what they were looking for this offseason was shooters, and they're obviously going to have to figure out a way to do that on limited cap space. But like for me, when I first heard it, kind of my initial thoughts were why Westbrook, but you're adding a top 5 point guard in the league, and I think whenever you're doing so to a team, you're making that team better. And it's now up to the Lakers to find the right pieces to surround your 3 all-stars with. Like you got LeBron, one of the greatest to ever do it. Anthony Davis, a lot of people say the best big man in the league, two-way big man in the league, because Jokic is by far the best offensive big. Anyway, and you add Westbrook, and it's going to be an interesting dynamic in terms of how often does LeBron run the court, and how often does Westbrook run the court. But for me, I look to the Brooklyn Nets when they added Harden. Everyone kind of questioned this move. What are they doing? They've already got Curry, they've got KD, they've got scorers. They don't need another one. But if it wasn't for injuries, Brooklyn were winning the title this year, and we can debate that a bit. But I think the Lakers will be able to make it work. I reckon they'll be able to make it work.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Westbrook is going home as well, so maybe. I mean, he's been playing with passion though. Even with the Wizards, I'm not sure if he averaged a triple double again, but I know he was pretty close. If he
I
didn't,
believe so.
and I mean, look, best case scenario, he fits perfectly, helps take the load off from LeBron. During the regular season, LeBron obviously injured, and the Lakers failed to make the playoffs. Um, and like, yeah, best case scenario, Westbrook helps with that, becomes the kind of second primary ball handler, maybe playing off the bench a little bit more with the bench unit. But obviously, for this lineup to work, the Lakers and LeBron, the GM, they need to add some pieces, and some minimum players, like
For
because they don't
sure.
have any
But
salary
I
cap.
think, well, so that's kind of the big draw. You're in LA. You're playing for one of the most historical franchises in the league. So you've already got that as a draw, as like a big market team. You've already got Andre Drummond, who's taken 800,000. So he's on a veteran minimum already. It's kind of shows that people are willing to take sacrifices to play, with LeBron, to play with, Westbrook. A lot of people say, he's the best teammate that they've played with. And now you look at someone like a JJ Redick, who's kind of late in his career there, who would fit perfectly, I think, for the Lakers, that kind of 3-point weapon, where you wouldn't need to handle the ball at all when you've got LeBron and Westbrook. Defensively, obviously not your strongest
Yeah,
addition, but I think the Lakers are going to look to add shooters. And there's also been talk of DeMar DeRozan. He'd be willing to take less money. He's now in the point of his career where he wants to win. He's been a great player for many, many years in this league. Mid-range specialist. So if somehow, some way, the Lakers could pull that off, if DeRozan wants to take a big pay cut, maybe, I don't know, there could be some stuff going on off court or something like that. LeBron
yeah,
promises him this and this in the future. But
I mean, I don't know if adding DeRozan would help though. 'Cause, like, he can't shoot threes. Westbrook can't shoot threes. Drummond can't shoot threes. That's a recipe for disaster, I think. Um, and you
you
know,
make a good point.
we all know the league is pretty 3-point driven these days.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're right. Like, they do need to add these pieces through free agency. The people who want that draw of the Lakers, the draw of playing in LA, playing with LeBron. But look, they're going to be playing against a Warriors team who's getting Clay back. They're going to have to play against. Look, the Suns. I don't know if Chris Paul's staying or not, or if they'll trade him, but they'll have to play against the Suns, who have shown that they're legit by beating the Clippers. They're gonna have to play the Clippers. And then they're gonna have to play the Nets or the Bucks in the finals. So, do I think Russell Westbrook makes them better? Yeah, probably. And it will probably help them, you know, over the season. Like, it's an 82 game season. You need to survive injuries and make it to the playoffs, which the Lakers didn't do with Davis and LeBron. And I think that, like, if we're looking at it overall, I don't think Russell Westbrook takes them over the edge to become a proper contender. LeBron's old.
LeBron is
Westbrook's
old.
pretty old.
He's 30. LeBron's 36. Westbrook 32. And you know the Lakers are in that win now kind of period. You know they've got their franchise man in AD for the next. You know they want him to be the future of LA. I'd imagine. You know there has been talks about moving him and this and that, but now that the Lakers have that big three, which is, you know, that's what everyone's kind of aspiring towards, is having the three stars. But you know with Westbrook and LeBron being similar kind of playmaking. You know, could we say that complement each other in a weird way, where you know Westbrook isn't always having to run the plays as such, but it is an odd fit. It is an odd fit. But you know, I think Westbrook and LeBron have a good connection off the court. I'm pretty sure they're kind of they're Brodies. I think.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, for sure. And obviously, time will tell. Maybe we're completely wrong, and Westbrook becomes a freak. Like, he can hit threes. It's not all the time.
He is a freak. He will go down the Hall of Fame. He's a top 5 point guard in the league at the moment. So many people say that he's, you know, the best teammate that they've played with, and like, you know, a lot of people call him selfish for taking ill-advised shots, which he does do. But you know, maybe that mentorship from LeBron would help him a lot. The pick and roll with AD, that's going to be scary. Because you know, we had the LeBron AD pick and roll. You now add the Westbrook AD pick and roll. You can't leave LeBron open, so it's kind of, you know, adding a new dynamic to that Lakers team. And yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Lakers can make it work, and obviously they're going to be contending. But will they make it out of the West? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I think the key is the rest of this offseason. Like, with free agency, they need to nail that. They need to get anyone possible who will play for a vet min to help complement these guys, because as is, I don't think that they're much better than they were. But
yeah, because we look at, you know, who they lost. They lose Kyle Kuzma, who's copped a lot of flack over these past few seasons, and I think going to the Wizards is the best thing for Kyle Kuzma. I think watch for him to be one of the most improved in the league. I think he is capable of scoring I'm not going to say high 20s. I'm going to say he's capable of scoring mid 20 points per game. I'll give Kuzma 23 points per game next season at the Wizards. And they lose KCP. You know, he was pivotal in that championship run that they had in the bubble. And they lose Montrezl Harrell, who I think the Lakers misused in the past, the season that they had him. You know, I think they really misused Trez. So yeah. I think that, you know, the Wizards kind of, you know, they acquire three pieces to add to Beal, and I think it's not a bad deal for the Wizards. I think, you know, obviously they would have liked for Westbrook and Beal to kind of contend in the East, but I don't think the Wizards are in that window right now. So we've got to kind of look at it from the Wizards' perspective as well. I think they've done quite well with what they've got for Westbrook, and
Yeah, for sure.
could be a win. Could be one of those win-win trades.
I don't think it will be. I think it's going to crash and burn. But let us know what you think in the comments, in the chat, and we'll see what everyone has to say.